The very last section, Riverton to Bluff, or the end. It is 42.1 miles from the town of Riverton to the very end of the Araroa Trail in Bluff. So this day, many people do many different things here, so I'll try to walk you through all that information. We're walking back into the town of Riverton here after staying at the Whimsical Studio, which was outside of town, cannot recommend enough. So you cross this bridge and you start a long beach walk. And the beach walk is upwards of 13 miles. It's a good chunk of your day, your morning, whatever it may be. It's unlike the beach that you did prior to get into Riverton. This beach is actually really firm sand, pretty easy to walk. It's just very flat, good sand. You can hold a pretty high pace on this portion of beach. Not many obstacles. There was one river that we crossed. I don't know the tides on that river, so if you think that may be an issue, check the tides. I didn't think it would be. We crossed about shin high. This is it here. Again, recommend checking the tides if you are worried about this river crossing. We may have just gotten lucky. So when I say there's many options, the miles are easy enough to push all the way to the end, but if you want to split it into a few days, there's a holiday park close to the end of this beach walk. And then there's also a major city called Invercargill a few more miles down. I'll talk about those more in depth here shortly. But the beach walk, I would recommend packing out water from the town of Riverton. There was that one river, but it might be brackish, so I would just recommend bringing water. Easy miles, not much to say there. And this is when you junction off at Ortai Beach. There is the holiday park, like I said, a few miles up that road if your miles link up and you want to do slower days to finish the trail and just soak it all in. So if you decide to go past that holiday park, it starts to transition into more kind of road. There is a nice shoulder, nice foursquare if you want to top off with water, cold soda, whatever have you. And then you got this portion that brings you kind of close to the outskirts of Invercargill. And Invercargill is a major city, so you can stay there. Many amenities, many options to stay. Again, it is your preference, but if you want to look into that, you can. It's about a mile or two off this junction here. I kept this piece of footage long to show you where it junctions off. Trail goes to the right. Invercargill was straight ahead. If you decide to continue on, you start to enter this portion of track that is gravel, more bikey path type stuff. Very, very easy walk and not a whole lot of elevation, almost nothing. If there are micro changes like 10 feet, you're not noticing it because it is just very, very gradual. So this track, it is super windy. Would recommend bringing something to kind of block the ears or kind of mitigate the noise a little bit. You do pass through this kind of sewer plant. You might get hit by a smell, but you've smelled worse if you've been through hiking at this point. So it's just very long, very exposed. Pack sunscreen, pack water. Very, very exposed to the wind, to the elements, to the sun, to the rain if it was raining. Eventually it will connect you back into road, and this kind of signifies the last chunk of road you have until the official end. It will fluctuate between this kind of gravel path, and then it will fluctuate to pretty much no shoulder right along the side of the road. Pretty easy walking though overall, and you can just hold that standard pace and really soak it in. More and more signs will just announce that you're getting close to Bluff. You can see it there. You've been seeing it for a few days. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and the feeling keeps getting more real and more real that you will be finishing. And you start to enter Bluff. There is no water from Invercargill to here that I saw. There is this water spigot right at where you junction into the trail here along the side of the building, so definitely fill up here. It's a hot exposed section if it is sunny out, so be prepared for a little water carry, and then there is water accessible there. Last portion of the trail, it actually puts you on this single track, which is really, really gorgeous, really beautiful. Kind of does a large U around Bluff itself. Epically gorgeous. I don't believe you're allowed to camp in here, but Bluff is a smaller town that has backpacker hostels, campgrounds. Like, you can stay in the town proper. So this is the track. Really gorgeous. It does have a little more grade and more climbing to it, but it's just really well beaten down. It's really well kind of graded, and overall it's probably traveled a whole lot by TA hikers, tourists, what have you, just because it's so gorgeous there. So it's really cut in very well, and you can hold a really standard pace on this. And ultimately you're climbing to Lookout Point. That will be your last official climb of the TA. And on the way to Lookout, a little steeper as it gets there. It has a couple steps in there, as you see here. But you probably have so much energy in your body at this point that climb, you're not going to even feel it. So as you climb and ascend towards the top. Eventually you'll get to this point that the official top 360-degree view is off trail a little bit. I filmed this scene here because I thought this was the top, but the trail itself, the TA proper, doesn't go to the official top to the left behind Magpie. It continues downhill, so you can pop up there if you so desire. Downhill rest of the way into Bluff and to Lookout Point. Bluff is a main service town. There are a lot of amenities, or enough amenities for a hiker, and there is an island off there that you can go to for extra miles if you so desire. And this is the sign. Just let the feelings flow. This is an informational video, not an emotional video, but Bluff, you can stay there, get ready, can take a shuttle back to Invercargill to fly out. Invercargill has an airport, or you can go over to the island across and do some extra miles. It's very dependent on what you want to do, but this last section, very flat overall, very easy walking. That energy is probably just coursing through you at this point. So touch the sign, smile at the sign, multiple times, touch the sign, do what you need to do. It's a feeling. So for people planning the hike, hope this series was informational, hope this helped, hope I was able to give the correct information, or at least the important stuff. And yeah, please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, and I really hope this helps some future TA walkers. All right.